It was supposed to be a light-hearted interview. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, had been invited to The View to promote his new mental health initiative and discuss his life in America. The audience was buzzing with anticipation, and the hosts, including Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and Sarah Haynes, were all smiles when he walked onto the stage. But what started as friendly conversation quickly spiraled into one of the most uncomfortable live TV moments of the year. Harry looked relaxed at first. Dressed in a navy blazer and open-collar shirt, he greeted the hosts with a warm smile and thanked them for having him. "It's good to be here," he said, looking around at the audience. "I've been focusing on projects that help veterans and support mental health. That's what matters most to me right now." Whoopi nodded approvingly. "You've been doing a lot of work around that. It's important." But Joy Behar, known for her sharp humor and often controversial remarks, had other plans. She leaned forward, her tone teasing yet pointed. "Harry, I have to ask, do you ever miss being a royal? Or do you prefer giving interviews about not wanting to be one?" The audience laughed awkwardly. Harry's smile froze for a moment. "I didn't leave to give interviews," he replied calmly. "I left because I wanted a normal life for my family. The media pressure in the UK was unbearable." Joy smirked. "But isn't it a bit ironic?" She pressed. "You say you want privacy, yet you're on shows like this, writing books, doing documentaries. It sounds like you want privacy on your terms." There was a visible shift in the studio atmosphere. The laughter stopped. Harry straightened in his chair, clearly taken aback. "Privacy isn't about silence," he said, his tone firmer. "It's about boundaries. My wife and I have chosen to speak about issues that matter to us, not to feed gossip." Sarah Haynes tried to interject with a lighter question, but Joy wasn't done. "Come on, Harry," she continued. "You can't have it both ways. The British tabloids didn't invent your story, you gave it to them. And Meghan, well, she seems to enjoy the spotlight, doesn't she?" The audience gasped. Whoopi shot Joy a warning look, but it was too late. Harry's expression hardened. "I'm not here to discuss my wife's personality," he said curtly. "She's been through enough public scrutiny." Joy shrugged, unbothered. "I'm just saying, the royal drama sells. Don't you think the two of you have benefited from it as much as you've suffered?" That was the breaking point. Harry took a deep breath, his jaw tightening. "I came here to talk about mental health and veterans," he said. "If this is going to turn into another tabloid conversation, I'm done." He stood up. The audience erupted in murmurs. Whoopi reached out, trying to calm the situation. "Hey, Harry, let's just take a moment." But he shook his head. "No, Whoopi, I've dealt with enough of this nonsense for a lifetime." The cameras caught Joy raising her eyebrows, muttering, "Touchy, aren't we?" Under her breath. Harry glanced at her sharply before walking off the stage. The audience fell silent. Producers scrambled behind the scenes while Whoopi cut to a commercial break. When the show returned, Joy attempted to smooth things over. "Well, that got heated," she said with a forced laugh. "I was just asking questions." Whoopi, however, wasn't amused. "There's a way to ask questions respectfully," she said firmly. "Prince Harry came here for a reason, and I think we lost sight of that." After the episode aired, social media exploded. Clips of the exchange flooded X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok, with viewers fiercely divided. Some criticized Harry for being too sensitive, while others accused Joy of ambushing him. Joy Behar crossed the line, one user wrote. She turned an important discussion into a circus. Another posted, "Harry talks about mental health, but walks off the moment he's challenged. Not a good look." By evening, #Prince Harry and #Joy Behar were both trending worldwide. The View's producers released a brief statement, saying, "We respect all our guests and regret that today's conversation did not go as planned." Sources close to Harry later told Us Weekly that he felt blindsided and disrespected. One insider said, he agreed to the interview under the impression it would focus on his charitable work. The personal attacks were uncalled for. Even Meghan reportedly called the situation disheartening. According to a source, she encouraged Harry not to dwell on it. She told him, "You spoke your truth, and that's all that matters." Meanwhile, Joy defended herself the next day on air, saying, "Look, I'm a comedian. I ask the tough questions. If someone can't handle them, that's not my problem." Her co-hosts remained noticeably quiet. In the days that followed, public debate only intensified. Was Harry too thin-skinned, or was Joy out of line? Opinion pieces poured in from both sides, but one thing was certain: the moment had reignited global fascination with the Sussexes. For Prince Harry, the incident served as another painful reminder that no matter how far he ran from the palace, controversy seemed to follow. And for The View, it was another episode that would go down in daytime TV history, a clash between royalty and American talk show candor, proving once again that when two strong personalities meet under bright studio lights, sparks are bound to fly. The morning after the explosive interview, headlines dominated every major outlet across the world. Prince Harry storms off The View, Joy Behar pushes Duke too far, and royal rage on live TV splashed across social media feeds. News channels replayed the clip on loop, the moment Harry stood up, his face tight with frustration, as Joy muttered something under her breath. It had already become the most replayed segment in The View's history. Back in Montecito, Harry tried to ignore the noise. Meghan had brewed tea and was waiting for him in their sunlit kitchen. She could tell the interview had shaken him. "You don't owe anyone an explanation," she said softly. "You handled it better than most would." Harry sighed, rubbing his temples. "It's not the first time, Meg. I just thought maybe, just maybe, this time people would listen instead of mock." She reached for his hand. People did listen. They always do. But the ones who shout the loudest aren't the ones who matter. Still, the criticism hurt. The British tabloids wasted no time jumping on the story, with one paper calling it yet another royal meltdown. Others accused him of being fragile and unfit for public life. It was exactly the kind of narrative he'd hoped to escape when he left the UK. Meanwhile, in New York, Joy Behar was facing her own wave of backlash. While some of her fans praised her for keeping it real, others thought she had gone too far. Her inbox was flooded with angry messages, and The View's producers were reportedly in crisis meetings about how to handle the fallout. That Friday, The View opened with a noticeably serious tone. Whoopi addressed the situation head-on. "We want to start today by acknowledging what happened earlier this week," she said, her voice calm but firm. "We've always been a show where tough conversations happen, but we also need to make sure those conversations stay respectful." Joy, sitting beside her, looked less fiery than usual. "I've been doing this for years," she said. "I ask questions people are thinking. Maybe I was too blunt this time, but I didn't mean to insult him. I actually admire the guy." Whoopi nodded, adding, "Intent matters, but so does delivery." Clips of the exchange went viral again, this time showing Joy appearing somewhat remorseful, which surprised viewers. But Prince Harry remained silent. No public statements, no interviews, not even a post from the Sussexes' official site. It was clear he wanted to move on quietly. A week later, he appeared at a veterans charity event in Los Angeles. Dressed in a simple gray suit, he looked calm but slightly weary. When a reporter asked if he wanted to comment on the View incident, he smiled politely. "No hard feelings," he said. "Sometimes conversations get heated. It happens. I'm focused on the work that really matters." That one short statement did what no PR campaign could: it shifted the public mood. Many began to see him as dignified and composed in the face of provocation. Even Joy Behar, during her next appearance, acknowledged his grace. "He took the high road," she admitted. "Maybe I could learn something from that." But behind the scenes, sources revealed Harry's frustration was deeper than he let on. Friends said he felt trapped between wanting to be open and constantly being misinterpreted. "He's always walking a fine line," one insider shared. "If he speaks, he's attention-seeking. If he stays silent, he's hiding. He can't win." Meghan continued to stand by him, encouraging him to keep his focus on his Invictus Games and mental health campaigns. She reminded him that change doesn't happen without discomfort. "Sometimes," she told him, "being misunderstood means you're saying something important." Months later, The View invited Harry again, this time through his representatives, offering a chance for a calmer, pre-recorded conversation. To everyone's surprise, he agreed. But with one condition: the topic would remain solely on his projects and global outreach. When the episode aired, the tone was entirely different. There were no cheap shots, no loaded questions. Joy even opened by saying, "Last time didn't go so well. My fault, but today, let's talk about what really matters." Harry smiled, visibly relaxed. He spoke passionately about veterans' rehabilitation, mental health advocacy, and his hope for a more compassionate world. The audience gave him a standing ovation. As the cameras went off, Joy shook his hand. "Thanks for giving us another chance," she said. Harry nodded. "We all deserve second chances." That moment marked a turning point, not just for Harry's public image, but for the View itself. The episode became one of the show's highest-rated broadcasts of the year, praised for its maturity and meaningful tone. Later that evening, Meghan posted a photo of Harry on Instagram with a simple caption. "Grace under pressure. Always proud of you." The comments were flooded with support. Viewers from around the world praised both Harry's resilience and the show's willingness to reconcile. Joy Behar even mentioned the Sussexes again on air weeks later, this time with a smile. "I've learned something from that prince," she joked. "Don't poke a royal bear unless you're ready for the claws, or the kindness." And so, what began as a storm of controversy ended in an unexpected truce, proof that even the most public of clashes can lead to private growth. For Prince Harry, it was another reminder that the real battles aren't fought on TV screens, but within the courage to stand up, walk away, and then come back stronger.